Hey y'all, if you're here to watch the usual peak gameplay, this ain't it. This entire video is just going to be me yapping for like 10 minutes straight. Honestly, I don't know who would be the audience for this, but the idea is that this is meant to be a chill ramble for y'all peeps to relax to. Though maybe it's more meant for me. Nonetheless, that means there won't be a Bloomtown video this week and next week as well. Usually how I record my Bloomtown gameplay is by streaming it on Twitch, and I just upload was basically a trimmed down VOD from those live streams. But I haven't had the time to stream Bloomtown due to an event I've been working on called Ready Cassette Loaf, or RCL for short. It's supposed to be a play on the saying Ready, Get Set, Go, but then I realized the saying was actually either on your marks, get set, go, or ready, set, go. But whatever. Anyways, RCL is a monthly event where, around the first Tuesday of every month, I stream over on Twitch where y'all can drop by and recommend music. We basically create two playlists based on a given theme to put on a cassette tape. Y'all can also submit art to decorate them as well. So I've been doing that instead of Bloomtown lately. I would like to upload videos of RCL, but the copyright strikes would go crazy. So y'all get this instead. Me playing UFO 50 in the background as I yap away. I've always wanted to play this game when I heard what it was about. If y'all don't know, UFO 50 is like a collection of 50 games that these developers collabed on, all in a retro pixel style. I've always loved the pixel aesthetic. I did my VTuber in pixel art. It reminds me of the games I played during my childhood, which were mainly Pokemon and Mega Man for me. Even now, probably my favorite game of all time would be a game called Omori. Though more modern, the game's mostly in pixel art. I just kind of enjoy the minimal use of sound effects, simple user interfaces, and a more limited color palette. It helps give a really cozy vibe. Though as for what makes a game good, for me, would probably be how much my emotions get evoked. That even makes sense. But what I'm saying is I really want a game to make me feel sad, angry, happy, guilt, so on and so on. Especially sad. Games or books and stories that make me cry my heart out are my favorite ones. But I do not like horror. I do not want to feel suspense and fear when I'm playing games. Mostly because I'm a huge scaredy cat. I will jump at almost anything. When I was a kid on the NES, I had the original Mario Bros. Games. I remembered I would refuse to play through the second level because of how dark it was. You know, the underground level with the Goombas and Piranha Plants. Wait, no, even the Piranha Plants scared the heck out of me. In real life back then, I had a huge fear of the dark. I'm much better with that kind of stuff now, though. I'm still super jumpy. Despite everything I just said, my favorite games are probably still Omori and this other game called Zonky Zero. Both games that made me fear and scream for my life. Even though some may say that they aren't scary games at all. But for me, they were the scariest games I've played. Or perhaps a more fitting way to describe it, they were the scariest games I was willing to play through to the end. I loved it. Both games also made me bawl my eyes out because of their story. The reason why those games are more dear to my heart than other games. The gameplay / combat for Omori and Saki Zero wasn't anything amazing. In fact, especially Saki Zero. The combat was horrible. Every fight was nearly cheesable and was just easy. If it weren't for the fact that it was kind of like first person, and if you turn the corner, you might get jump scared by a monster. That was probably the hardest part of the gameplay. But anyways, when it comes to games, the gameplay itself isn't as important as the story. For me, at least. For single-player games. I'm not sure if there's a single-player game that I played mainly for its gameplay or combat. Actually, let me take that back. I don't know how I forgot about the games that I'm currently playing right now. I am a gacha game addict. I'm currently playing 5 gacha games. Or 6 if you count the new Pokemon Pocket card game on the phone. But I like calling it a TCG game and not a gacha game as a form of cope. But the other 5 are Zenless Zone Zero, Honkai Star Rail, Fellow Moon, Reverse 1999, and Wuthering Waves. Though out of all of them, I'd say Wuthering Waves is probably the only game I primarily play for its combat gameplay. Dodging, slashing, strategically switching around characters to dish out a lot of damage. It's fun. As for the other games, I like them because of their story, graphics, and character designs. But the reason I like gacha games so much is probably because of the gamba. Rolling for the characters you want and like, the insane hit of dopamine you get when you get the SSR character you were aiming for. If gacha games were as popular as they were now when I was a kid, I would be so cooked. Actually, that would have been TCGs for me as a kid, huh? I would always get sucked into wanting the new Yu-Gi-Oh! Or Pokemon booster packs. Every time my parents brought me to a department store, I would just oogle at the colorful TCG packs and whine to my parents and wanting it. But my parents would always say no and shut me down no matter how much I cried about it. Back then, I hated at how strict my parents were when it came to buying stuff that I wanted as a kid. But looking back at it now, I'm quite thankful. It would have been a horrendous money sink. Anyways, I know this type of video format is very different from what I usually post. I hope you don't mind. I might do these a lot more on weeks where I'm unable to stream games on Twitch to upload for YouTube, like next week. Though I would need to think of topics to yap about. Didn't realize how difficult it is to maintain a one-sided conversation for over 5 minutes. But I think it's nice. Just turning on the microphone and rambling stuff that I want to ramble about is a nice outlet for self-reflection for me. Well, that's easier said than done because I actually write most of my thoughts down before saying it into the microphone. But maybe in the future I can get good enough where I don't need to script things out anymore. Well, see you next week maybe.